We live.
We live, baby.
We live, baby.
Lord, Daniel, what is you doing,
Lord,
baby?
Lord.
Dan is
Welcome to the stream.
I'm waiting to see if it pops
Hit it
up
with
right now. We're not live on
with
Twitch.
that
Just...
Peter Piper pick up pen. Dan is the man with that plan, and you hit him with that.
I don't know if we're live, Atticus.
Yeah, I don't see you live.
It's on mine. I mean, I can see it.
Oh, here we go.
Wait, is it?
Okay. I don't know.
Yep, it is.
My Twitch isn't going.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
Atticus, you're live
because
on YouTube.
it's on my fucking thing only. Hold on.
Let me hit a like real quick.
Hold on, we're gonna have to
And he's
redo
gotta
it.
drop. He's gotta drop it. At least that stream gets a like. Bless you. Indeed. Wet. So I got my first hater. Boys.
Oh, tell me about it, Pogren. Tell me about your first hater story, and I'll tell you about mine. Cause
I
mine's
sent it to
beautiful.
Atticus. I got a huge I don't know if Atticus went off on this guy. It isn't how gaming is supposed to be. Period. Fans are supposed to make games related content out of love and passion, not money. Yeah, get off my fucking lawn. And then he posts a thing where I have like my live stream, my Facebook fan page, Discord, Twitter, Instagram. And he's like, holy shit, you self-promotion fag. Go to hell. Go directly to hell.
Nice.
Like, just, like, it went from being like, just like, okay, man, calm the fuck down, I made a Patreon, to, holy shit, man, calm the fuck down in general.
You
Welcome
are
to
going to hurt
2019,
yourself.
man.
Please stop.
I don't know. He needs.
Oh
to
god,
move
are we
forward.
live right now?
Yes, we're live.
Yeah.
Thanks, Atticus.
Hey man, no problem. Just doing my due diligence.
Thank you for the due diligence.
Now, Pogren, and that sounds a little bit different than my hater story. I'll give you a brief rundown. But I put out a rare spawn video back in December, and Huzzah, if you've seen his videos, I'm sure y'all are familiar, right? You've seen him scrolling through YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I made a rare spawn video for Mulgore, and it totally was a dub off of his, but it was much more direct, a lot more information. And this guy, I swear, he went so hard, I think it was his friend. Like, it had to have been. He was like, he just went off on a rant, and I responded a couple times. It was like literally my second or third video that I made, and so I thought I struck gold with it. You know, I was like, oh, I did so much better than this guy. You know, I was obviously new to it, and I probably should have held my tongue a little bit longer, but he was going hard, like, rare spawn videos are dead, yada yada yada. And dude, the fire, the burning passion I got after I had my first hater, that was the first guy that like went hard on me. And it wasn't just like that guy getting mad at you for promoting yourself. It was more like, don't make these videos, rare spawn videos are dead, Huzzah's already doing them 10 times better than you. I was like, bitch.
Jesus.
So anyways, whenever you brought up you got your first hater, I remember my first hater experience, and it was a beautiful experience.
Dude,
It
I've had so many haters already, like, over the stupidest shit. People coming at me like, you made this guide, you don't know what you're talking about. This weapon wasn't on there. This piece of gear wasn't on there. And I'm like, that's because I didn't think that you needed them. I'm sorry. Like, who cares?
Yeah, no. It was interesting.
I just
And then,
love
I
when
don't know.
people want to talk shit, and it's just like, but you ain't making videos. But you're not doing it.
Right.
Like,
The saltiness
yeah.
is real.
Like, go
Yeah.
screw yourself. Do it yourself. Anyway, welcome to the Goodnight Azeroth Strum.
We finally back, boys. We finally back.
Last week there was issues, and what the frick? Oh my god, it's got you guys backwards in the thing. And what?
Oh, it does. I see it that I am Grace for Days, and Grace for Days is not Pogren. I'm
so
okay
upset.
with your fitness. to have
I was
somebody,
gonna
aren't
say,
you?
I don't even feel bad about this, Pogren.
And like your little, this is so weird too, because like Gray's little thing is gone. Anyway, you guys just talk while I figure this stuff out.
Okay, Grace. So
Yeah.
you got to play 24 hours on the stress test.
Yes.
I want to hear about what you found, because you definitely showed me some pretty cool stuff revolving around WSG and you being able to hop over walls.
Oh,
and
dude.
stuff.
Yes. So my 24-hour live stream over the stress test server, that was, first of all, the most fun I've had playing World of Warcraft. I think it was the first time I've actually played World of Warcraft outside of private servers. I couldn't tell you when, vanilla WoW at least. And dude, I had the feeling, and people have I've heard people refer to this, but like this crackhead tingle of like, dude, I was having so much fun playing vanilla WoW, and I was actually nervous going into the 24-hour stream, right? I'm like, dude, I woke up 2 hours beforehand. I got 8 hours of sleep before, and I did an 8-hour stream prior to this, maybe a month or two ago, and I remember how drained I was, and I seriously was nervous, Pogren, coming into the stream. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. I don't know if I'm gonna last. Dude, I was 12 hours in, going hard. And dude, time goes by playing vanilla WoW, especially on official servers, if you want to call the stress test official. It felt so good being in a community. It felt legit. Dude, time goes by in a snap. Like, that 24-hour stream was done in what felt like 8 hours. It really did. So first of all, I just want to talk about how much fun I had. And I'm thinking about doing a 48-hour stream.
No.
Oh my God, man!
Don't
Careful.
do it.
On launch. Atticus, the trainer over here.
You're gonna die.
Yeah. No, for sure. But
No, for sure. But I'm gonna do it anyway.
Just get an
That's a
IV.
22-year-old talking to me.
Oh God, get an
But,
IV tap in.
So I'll tell you, I wasn't sure what I was gonna do. I didn't know if I was gonna level. They opened Warsong Gulch, Pogren, and Atticus, dude. I had so much fun playing Warsong Gulch. So I hit level 10 late at night. It's 2 a.m. and I feel like this was like the this was the hot time. This is whenever the tryhards were playing, right? Nobody, you know, I started at level 1, but all the people that were playing at 2 a.m. whenever the stress test came out were going hard. I hit level 10. Someone instantly invites me to a guild, you know, and it's like, okay, you know, I click guild invite, and the dude's like, pre-made Warsong Gulch with a question mark. I'm like, hell yeah. You know, so I'm Druid, and they're like, dude, are you ready? I'm like, I'm getting my bear form. They waited, you know, half an hour for me to do my bear form quest. And we got bear form. And the craziest thing, dude, we jumped in a Discord call. I jumped in this random Discord. And the freaking Discord was called Anal. Like, it was just a foreign experience. Yeah. And so I'm like, dude, it almost looks like spam. I've never done this before. I'm playing World of Warcraft. I'm jumping into Discord.
Yeah.
call.
Discord was called Anal. It was amazing, guys.
Yeah.
It was a whole other world for me.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no.
I've never done anal.
Yeah, so I'm like, what is this Discord, dude? This feels weird. I jump into the call, and it's like
my
all
God.
these other young kids like me, you know, they sounded like 23, 24, 25. Dude, we played Warsong Gulch. There was 3 of us. A lot of people filtered out, but there was 3 of us that played Warsong Gulch for 8 hours straight. Didn't even blink. I think we played 8 games in 8 hours. And we had 45-minute, hour-long
Holy
Warsong
crap.
Gulch. And it was the most fun. That was the most fun I ever had playing vanilla. I'm so stoked to come back to vanilla, dude. I can't wait for Classic to come out. Anyways, talking on some of the things that I found in the stress test. First of all, it was buttery smooth. It was the first time I've been in the beta. It felt really good. Everybody talks about the spell batching and stuff like that. I couldn't really tell a difference just because I'm not familiar with whether you want to base it off private servers or just memory. But overall, the game felt smooth. One of the biggest things I saw outside of Warsong Gulch, one of my guys in my group, Light Reaver, we were leveling together, and he trained his weapon proficiency at level 5. He went and learned guns as a troll, and I was like, dude, how'd you learn guns? Because we did a quest, so you got a gun reward. There's no minimum level requirement for weapon proficiencies on the Classic WoW beta.
That's weird.
And you know, if we want to base our ideology off of private servers, right? Everybody says, well, private servers, you can't base it off of that. The thing is, just by general rule, like the way
World of
Cargos? Warcraft got released, like they wouldn't have a minimum level requirement after vanilla WoW. Like everything got progressively easier, right? The quality of life features, and so I feel like and especially because they're rolling back the engine on this, I feel I don't have official footage. I didn't go look at 2005, 2006 footage to confirm this, but I would imagine that minimum level requirements just didn't get added into this engine that they rolled back. So that was a really interesting thing that I saw. And then in Warsong Gulch, I wish I had the clips right now to show you. There's 2 places that you can wall jump into restricted areas, both on Horde and Alliance. There's one on each side. And that was a really cool experience too, guys. The way those were exposed to us, there was this one group, this one player. I'm gonna make a video on it soon, and I'll point it out. But this one guy trolled us on our Horde side. He had our flag, and he was on our Horde side. And dude, 3 hours later, we're still playing in that same Warsong Gold session. I see the same guy. It's obviously a different group, but the same guy was on the Alliance side this time in another restricted area. So there's 2, and I wall jumped, and I got it on video. I'm gonna make a video out of it. Possibly this weekend, hopefully. But yeah, that was really interesting stuff. And And like, I don't know how you guys feel about wall jumps, but it's such a scumbag thing. It's not even fun to play against. And obviously,
You talking about like the which kind of wall
the
jumps?
restricted wall jumps. Restricted wall jumps. So there's one on the horde side going up to the roof on the ramp. And you've seen videos of it where people get on that water wheel on top, and that's where the guy was. Eventually, you can take that route all the way around to the behind the base. But then on the Alliance side on the roof, there's these two little pots. Whenever you take a left on the roof, you can jump on these two pots, jump on a ledge, and you're high enough above everybody else, you're out of line of sight. And you can range everybody else down though, and no one else can reach you. So two completely huge exploits in Warsong Gulch for both the Horde and Alliance side, which surely they're gonna bug patch. I just was surprised that they were in the beta. And dude, the report feature wasn't working in the stress test, so everybody in my Warsong Gulch group was pissed.
Oh really?
Yeah, dude, and because I guess they're not gonna kick you out of a stress test, right? And you're testing things like this, so the report feature didn't work. So we actually got screwed in one of those games that we totally would have won. But that was some of the biggest. I spent probably 14 hours of my 24-hour stream in Warsong Gulch. I had so much fun playing Warsong Gulch.
Yeah, I was trying to catch up. I was in there too, and thanks for the sub, Cargos. Only 3 months later. I'm just kidding, dude. Welcome everybody. No, I'm just fucking around.
Welcome, Cargos. Welcome, guys.
Welcome, Robin. And someone said, I can't remember if there was level 10 training in vanilla. I specifically remember there being a level 10 cap at one point in vanilla, because I remember leveling with my friends on first started. They all played Alliance, and I remember trying to use the two-handed shovel that you get whenever in the Fargo Deep Mine. And it's like a mace, and I'm a human warrior, and I'm like, I can't use this, what the frick? And then I go look, and it's like level 10 training, and I was like, crap. I was also 14, so I didn't really understand how the game worked. But
yeah, it seems like a pretty big bug. And I'm in the mindset of theory crafting 1 to 10 speedruns, right? I just did a whole forum post over it, and so that really changes the dynamic of quest rewards that are available at level 5. Some green items you can get at level 5.
If they keep
really
it that way,
increase your leveling speed by half an hour in that 1 to 10 leveling zone because of this.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to keep it that way or not. I mean, if they do, I don't think it's game breaking or any problem. It's not freaking hashtag no changes, but it's not hashtag broken either. So
can I make a point too for everyone that's listening on these changes, and Pogren and Atticus, you guys can chime in on this. It blows my mind because there's so many things, it's hard for people to actually test things. For you to actually get a legitimate case, right? To make a legitimate case, you have to go find original 2005, 2006 footage, whether it was numbers, that minimum level requirement. You'd have to find actual footage, but then here's the kicker. Blizzard can invalidate anything that you say by saying, oh no, that got changed in patch 1.12. Just like the mobs in dungeons, they said, no, 1.12 came around, the mobs got a whole lot easier. So all this video footage that you see in vanilla WoW, there's only a 1 month period that you could actually, and then it got changed after Burning Crusade. So there's this 1.12 window where something got changed and then it got changed in Burning Crusade. So
yeah, there wasn't a lot of time, but I just remember playing in that 1 month a lot though, because I specifically remember okay, I'm ready to start pushing for fucking rank 11, and then it's hey, no more ranks. Yeah. And I was like,
right.
What?
But
I was
every
so mad.
Specific detail is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's crazy because Blizzard can just say, no, this is the way it was, deal with it. And so
you're not wrong.
Yeah.
It's just funny. It's a funny perspective, I think. How do you report bugs? And I'm not complaining. That's just what I've observed, and people have pointed things out, and Blizzard has made a few comments on certain things. I wish I could tell you what they were right now specifically, but I've seen that's kind of an issue.
Yeah.
Blizzard has the last say. So.
I can totally relate to this right now because of what I've been helping Melderon do. We have a spreadsheet, and I mean a very dense document. That we are gathering so Rockbiter weapon was the first thing I noticed it on. I brought it to his attention, and no one else noticed this. There's not a single other shaman that noticed this in vanilla WoW, nor on the private servers, because it doesn't technically happen on there. The tooltip states Rockbiter rank 1 gives you 29 attack power, and then the tooltip for every rank of Rockbiter has a static stat allocated to it of how much AP you actually get. Okay. On the private servers, from what I've been able to find, and on the beta, it scales with your level. So at level 2, you no longer have 29, you now have 33 bonus attack power. And up it goes, to the point where I'm in pre-raid BIS as a shaman using Rockbiter with a bonus of 1,067 attack power, wielding a Nightfall axe. It's
bonus
insane.
of 1,006 something?
Yeah. My total AP was 1,400.
Oh, you're saying that what you like theory crafted how much it should go up if it continued the same
what it
path?
does. Here's the cool thing: is the character sheet. It shows that you have green. Your attack power is green, meaning you got a bonus.
Yeah.
Not a single person looked to see what that bonus was. There's no records of looking at it being like, this is what it's going to be at this level. This is what it's going to be at this level. So I literally have a list from 1 to 60 on what the bonuses are of each rank of Rockbiter, because each one caps out at about every 6 levels, and then it stays there.
But are you
the
basing
last
that
rank
off of
what?
Are you basing it off of private servers?
I'm basing that off a private server, and from what we've seen, and the beta is doing the exact same scaling, if not more.
Okay, yeah,
and it's not just Rockbiter; it's also all the true spells from shamans.
Yeah.
I'm talking Lightning Bolt. I'm talking Healing Wave. I'm talking the shocks haven't really gone up, but Flame Tongue and Frostbane, the weapon imbues, also have scaled. So the amount of damage a shaman actually can do on a private server, it may have been like this in Classic WoW, where you didn't actually see this math going on in the background, that it just applied this math to your attacks. You now are actually seeing that in the beta, and it might change how things are done, because no one really took the time to do the math on how everything functioned. They kind of took it at face level. They could see that shamans weren't pulling a whole lot, and the shamans are kind of, there's a little bit extra you have to do to make it work, just like druid and everything else, where you have to have that little extra bit. But I've been going nuts over this. Like, I actually lost a couple hours of sleep because I couldn't stop thinking about the numbers. But like, seriously, like, no, everyone, like, the question literally was, okay, are we actually seeing this, or did other people see this and just somehow like Mandela effect like crazy? Everyone forgot. Makes no sense.
Well, I mean, it was the same thing was happening with Battle Shout. Every time I leveled up, I gained a little bit more attack power bonus from the Battle Shout. And then
it's also happening with Scorpion Sting with the hunters.
But it wasn't increasing with my like Heroic Strike or any of my other abilities like that. It was just Battle Shout, which is I mean, it's still like, if that's how it was and that's what we see and the same damage comes across, and we're just actually now just seeing the, you know, like the values of what we've always been feeling, then that's fine. But like, if we get to like 60 in a beta or on
in the game's
or in Classic, and you're literally
happens.
walking up and just like one-shotting people, I'm gonna be like, we gotta fix this.
So if I can find the spreadsheet real quick, I gotta look it up real quick, because there's one discrepancy is between a couple levels.
Give me that spreadsheet.
I can't give
Boy.
I'll just say this, from what we've seen so far and what I've heard people talking about, obviously I'm not in the beta, but all this, what we've seen up to this point is just a testament to, honestly, how different I think the game's going to be than how it originally was in vanilla. Like, I don't think all the values, and here's the other thing, guys, we're playing in a 1.12 environment. They're releasing gear and content in phases, but they have numbers, talent, 1.12 talents from start to beginning. So it's going to play as a completely different game. It's going to be weird. It's going to be weird. I don't have any recollection of it, but for all the heads that remember how vanilla WoW was.
It's a good thing, though, because, like, we should talk about post-vanilla stuff in a second, but, like...
Classic Plus.
Yeah, so, like, this is the thing. So during vanilla, we had this huge time that led up to 1.12, and then we get 1.12. It's like that for a month, and then it's switched to Burning Crusade stuff, because like as soon as the expansion comes out, updates came, and it changed a lot of little things, and then it progressively changed quicker and quicker as Burning Crusade went on, because they were just trying to balance the game towards the level 70 stuff that they couldn't foresee in a beta or whatever. But anyway, so there's like this very short frame of time where we got the game that was their actual vision for the game, and now we get to play that vision of the game for a very long period of time, and we haven't seen that, like, because even private servers, obviously, as we've seen, they're not exactly right. So it's very interesting. But how do you guys feel about Classic Plus? Like, would you want to see, like, because obviously I think the very first thing they would do is it would kind of ruin their step into BC, but maybe not. Karazhan.
Yeah.
I think they would go straight into Karazhan just based off of how you could get the staff of ATS or whatever, or ATS the staff of whatever the frick,
Sure.
and you could use that for to teleport your whole group to Karazhan. Like I think that was their next step, that they were originally going to make Kara a classic thing.
Maybe before we go into the specifics, Atticus, maybe compare the difference between releasing the Burning Crusade and Wrath of the Lich King to Classic Plus originally, and I've actually switched on this topic a lot. I made a video probably 3 or 4 months ago advocating for Classic WoW Plus. All these zones that didn't get introduced. I did like a lore video on the Undermine, this whole goblin city that was supposed to be in between Eastern Kingdoms and Kalimdor. There was plans for this goblin faction and just the role that they played in the original world. Grim Batol, Hyjal, all these zones, and I'm like, dude, this game was like they had huge plans for this. They should do this whenever Classic WoW comes out. And I let that idea sit for a while. The thing is, and I'm torn because there's a lot of people that played Burning Crusade and Wrath of the Lich King, but did they play it to the fullest extent? I think half the people that are playing now, they were too young. I'm putting people such as myself. There's a good amount of people that even people that were old enough to play, they maybe didn't even have the time to experience Burning Crusade Wrath of the Lich King to the fullest. They didn't realize kind of what was in front of them whenever it was so great, right? And so there's this idea of having a second chance to play through that. And I really want to. I've changed my mind and my stance on wanting Classic Plus over the expansions first, because the problem is if we go Classic Plus at the end of 1.2 at the end of 3 years. Phase 6 is done, complete. Naxxramas is out. Where do we go next? If you do Classic Plus, I think it ruins Burning Crusade and Wrath of the Lich King forever.
I agree.
Dawkins, my man, what up? Sorry.
Right? No, you're good. You're good. So that's where one of my biggest arguments for. I so badly want to see a Classic Plus, but I think it ruins Burning Crusade and Wrath of the Lich King, and it seems like too big. We could talk about details, but it seems like too big of a risk. For the community to want to go for. I think it's too big of a risk to allow the developers to go for something like that. And then, you just ruin the chance for Burning Crusade and Wrath of the Lich King. But those would be completely different experiences as well. Would it even be healthy to release TBC and Wrath of the Lich King? You're going to have Wrath of the Lich King at the end of its life cycle. Like, they're not going to release progressive content. Or they might, they might do looking for group or looking for raid, whatever they had in Wrath.
Well, I mean, like, a lot of the like talents and whatnot in Wrath didn't change drastically, like not nearly as drastically as things changed in Classic. Like BC and all those Wrath talents, they were way more polished, and it was just like little intricacies here and there that they changed around. So that wouldn't be so hard, because that would really be the only thing that they would need to worry about. Other than and like the items didn't really change either, not like they did in Classic. Like it was just these are the items, and then the content was dead when a new content came out, which is why a lot of people didn't like it. But
like, how much did you guys play through? Like,
I played the shit.
I'll be honest,
I
didn't complete all the raids. I never killed the Lich King in freaking Wrath of the Lich King. I hit level cap in Wrath, and I would love to have the opportunity to go back. And I think if we had a Classic Plus, it would ruin my chances forever to experience that. And I don't know. I think that's too big. I think that's too big of a risk. That's too big of a loss to go for Classic Plus.
Yeah.
That's my opinion up to this point. What do you think, Poker?
Yeah.
So I've been watching some stuff. There was a video that was posted in my Discord by what's his name? So the video itself, I'll just kind of preface it. It was a reaction to Asmongold talking about Classic WoW Plus. So it's kind of like
Punk Rat? Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, it was Punk Rat. Thank you, Punk Rat. The video's not bad. I kind of agree with the guy's talking about, and I'm actually kind of interested to see what Dawkins says here, but what happened with the stuff. But outside of that, we also have Frosted Window. I want to kind of direct myself to here. He says Classic Plus should be something we look into after TBC and Wrath, like after the life cycle of Wrath. Now, I've kind of on the same border here. I'm a little on the fence on how I want to deal with this. My original idea was, why don't we implement the voting system from our old school RuneScape? Well, a lot of us have been talking about that. Old school RuneScape it caused a little bit of a division because the PvP players and the PvE players might get on one another, but it's a bit different for World of Warcraft compared to our old school RuneScape. I think having Classic WoW Plus is not a bad idea. I think being able to explore the game the way it was intended, as long as it is handled by those who are making the game now in the Classic group that it's out there, those guys,
Mhm.
as long as they're the ones there, the ones that are paying attention to what we want and what their original plan was, you let them make that game. I would say let's go for it. Let's make a almost like WoW 2.0 or something else like that. But I also would like to at least have them go all the way up to Wrath before they do that, because TBC and Wrath are technically the next progression. It's the easy answer. It's the easy thing for Blizzard to do. Let them get out there. Let them get people out in their different communities, and then go. If you want something different than Wrath and TBC, or even what we currently have at the time, let's try exploring this other development side of things. Like, I would love to see Quel'Thalas. Quel'Thalas was supposed to be in the game. Oldham. Sorry, not Oldham. Southern Tenaris. You guys know what I'm talking about, the wall there. It's Oldham. Thank you, Oldham.
Yep.
We also have...
that'd be amazing, dude.
Yeah.
Grimbatal, and then that entire area right there where the Wildhammer dwarves are supposed to be. Totally would love to see that.
Yeah.
Right.
But we have to see... It's something that's going to take time. I don't think this is something we can rush into, but I definitely would love to see it.
Yeah, so my thoughts on it is I think that they could do it multiple ways, because I don't think that they need to go through the entire life cycle before they start it. I don't think that they need to stop with the vanilla, because what they could do is they can make it real simple. This is something I've said that they can do a million times. All you got to do is vanilla plays all the way out. Now it's time for BC to release. Now, you can either continue to play on this server that you're on with BC, or you can make a 100% copy of your character onto the Classic WoW Plus server. And then you can just continue your progression with your guild on that Classic WoW Plus server, and then you can stay on the normal server and progress through BC content if you want to. That way, they exist alongside each other. They're just running in parallel universes. So then they could do that, or if they do just want to wait until they've run through the entire life cycle of Wrath, I mean, dude, let's just put every iteration of the game on a 2-year expansion or 2-year process or whatever. So you got Classic for 2 years, BC for 2 years, Wrath for 2 years.
Panda,
No, I'm not talking about those three. Hold on.
Okay.
No.
The Holy Trifecta.
The Holy Trinity. That's all we're talking about
Trinity,
here. Cataclysm and beyond never happened. But that's also something I would like to see. I would like them to act as if Cataclysm and everything else never happened.
Well, what if we hear me out on this, dude?
Is right on that too. By the way.
I would love to see Classic WoW stalled out for the entire lifespan. Say they carry on to Burning Crusade, Wrath of the Lich King, and then they keep this Classic server separate, because there's tons of people that aren't going to want to carry on to those servers. The reason I like Classic WoW, that first iteration with no Classic Plus being alive for another 4 years of Burning Crusade and Wrath of the Lich King being out, that's 7 years on one server. I know that sounds insane. 6 to 7 years on an original Classic WoW server without Classic WoW Plus, right? Arguably, I think there's enough content. There's so much I would want to do for 5, 6, 7 years that I'm going to want to experience in World of Warcraft, and I know it sounds stale, but dude, like, I'd want to play through every class. I'd want to play through every zone. And you need 5 years, especially if you're not going to be doing this 24/7. You need 5, 6 years on a server to really get the full experience.
But I think that it's fine to do that, because I agree. I could play Classic WoW for 7 years or whatever, but I wouldn't. Sure. At the same time, I would not mind them doing fresh start servers after 2 or so years, just resetting the servers or just doing another one and everyone just going on to the new one, because. If you're going to run through all that content, do you really need to have max level characters to fund yourself? Because then you're just gonna kind of, it's the same way it is on private servers. Whenever you re-level a character, or anytime you re-level a character and you're just funneling money into it, it takes an aspect of the game out. So I don't see there's a problem with just doing fresh starts, but yeah, I mean always have classic servers going, in my opinion.
Well, one of our viewers, Dead of Night, he said, I think several versions of the game will split the community more than fresh servers.
I agree.
Same with Skazik, said the exact same thing. Basically, it'll fracture the community going into T and Wrath even.
Yeah. And so there's so many things. Honestly, I think the developers just need time. Another great thing about going through the and Wrath of the Lich King before we see Classic Plus is it's going to allow developers, like you said, the current guys working on Classic WoW right now. I think the basic principles of what made Vanilla WoW great are evident in Burning Crusade and Wrath of the Lich King, right? I think the basic principles started to get lost after they reworked the world. Cataclysm came out looking for group, the entire talent system, yada yada yada. I think that developers going through the Burning Crusade, Wrath of the Lich King, they may not be the original guys, but if they get a feel for what the community wants and they get a feel for how the game was built in the past, would that possibly make a greater Classic WoW Plus?
Yeah.
If we gave it a little bit more time to sit.
What I would say is something like this probably wouldn't happen for 6 years.
Yeah, definitely.
I would say they need to let this sit in long enough. It's how corporations work. But I think you're right, though, Grays. I do think if they eventually get somebody who's really passionate about trying to make it as close to the experience as possible, that's obviously the best route. I think we need to let people have it, let them chew on it. Is the one thing, is the terminology I've been using a lot. Is let me stew on it, let me chew on it, let me like process this. Because people are going to get done with Classic WoW and they're going to wonder what's next. And obviously the traditional way of doing this is say, why not Burning Crusade? But Burning Crusade ruined things for people, and there were people who left because they didn't like what Burning Crusade was doing compared to Classic WoW. The fact that there's no more ranking system like there was, the fact that they added arenas, the fact that they made these changes to make it more popular in the everyday gaming sphere.
Absolutely.
Gearing differently, but then again, you can also, there's other sides of that coin. There's always a positive and negative. And I can also see them creating these almost locked servers, kind of fracturing the community, or even making a Classic WoW Plus fracturing the community. But then again, we're getting Classic WoW right now. Classic WoW is fracturing the WoW community, as it were.
Absolutely.
You know, there's a lot that can be said. There's a lot that can be talked about. It's just something you gotta. I think the community is together doing something like this with us, or even having this continue on through the forums and on other streamers, and getting people like Asmongold and getting people like SFan and getting people like Tipsop talking about it.
Yeah, and this is a discussion we'll see a year or two down the line. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, totally.
Everybody's. I just, oh man, I just feel like Classic WoW needs to have a longer lifespan than 3 years. I don't know if that was their original intention, right? Like, you know, it was kind of a corporate thing where, you know, we have to put out expansions because, you know, money, you know, corporations, business, however it works. But I felt like the game was designed for 5 years, 6 years,
agree with you.
And we never saw that. So it's uncharted territory.
Doc, and you have a good night, man.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Peace out, Doc.
But
anyways.
For a good, it fractured the community for a good cause, because BFA's shit. Thanks, Frost. You're not wrong. BFA is totally shit, man.
I mean, I don't like anything after Cataclysm. Like, it was... The
I can play a little Cataclysm. I can play up to Firelance, and then after that I could get shit.
Dude, I hated all the gear in Cataclysm. I hated
it was
every
ugly.
single
ounce
of
the Warrior wasn't too bad. You got, like, the Molten Giant armor.
Dude,
that was pretty cool.
It looked so bad. Like,
I liked it a little bit.
I hated it
I hated
so
much.
much.
I hated, like, the crystal one where you had, like, the blue shards and shit coming out of you.
That one...
That looked ridiculous.
I thought that one was better than the...
oh, see, there
ugh. Like, but no, not that I liked it. It was just better. But
Go ahead, Grace. What's up, man?
Check this out. So, talking on the lifespan of Classic WoW, and you know, I don't want to act like this wasn't something that happened, but at the end of Classic World of Warcraft, everybody, you know, there's a lot of people that played the entire time from 2004, 2006. They were ready for the Burning Crusade. They were done with the content, right? And there's more. I think the minority is going to be the completionists like me. That want to stick around for 5 or 6 years. That's just my personal opinion. I think, because I remember the game getting stale, you know, and that's just the reality.
Yeah, but the people were at like a lot of people at max level. Like, how many guilds actually cleared Nax?
Right. No. I know, but even without clearing Nax, like I started to get bored. Just, you know, even though I didn't complete everything in it, it just kind of got mundane to me. I just want to point out how we could increase the longevity of Classic WoW's lifespan, and I want to bring up a point that I've seen. This was my experience in the stress test. You know, I was capped out at level 10. There was an entire new meta at level 10. I mean, a whole new World of Warcraft that nobody had ever played before.
Yeah. Well, that's why I like Twinkie so
Classic
much,
WoW
dude.
beta. Yeah, right, absolutely. Look at the Classic WoW beta, though. It's artificially created this new world, this new play mode that nobody really even thought should have existed. You know, we didn't ever think we'd see it, but because of the nature of how this beta got released, there's a whole new level 30 beta. There's going to be a whole new level 40 meta in Classic World of Warcraft, and just what classes are good, what classes aren't. There's certain things that you can do in Battlegrounds, World PvP, whatever you want to call it, PvE. There's this uncharted territory again, like different game modes. You really could. Obviously the community is going to need to run these things, and so I think the community is going to have a wait. They're going to have it's going to be their job to increase the longevity of Classic WoW. But I just want to point out that what we've seen on the stress test and what we've seen streaming on the Classic WoW beta, the closed beta, is that this game is timeless. It's endless. You could do so many different things. I've heard so many different ideas of game modes, like guilds and communities coming together, making their own quest lines, doing a weekend event. You know, figure out this riddle. It's a 10 chain quest, and it's totally an artificial quest where you have to figure out the riddle, go find certain drop rates off of certain mobs, and bring them back to this next NPC, somebody that's just chilling for the weekend. You know, they got to come up to you, trade you this item. There's so many different things you could do with the game. And so I just want to point this out, that Classic WoW, from what we've seen up to this point, it could the lifespan of this game could be endless. There's so many different things you can do. And I have plans with that dungeon meta, all these different things. It's just something I wanted to point out. I don't know if anybody could talk on that. You may not want to though. But.
Well, I mean, the endless lifespan thing. I mean, we've already talked about it enough. I mean, there's enough there's little tiny, like the 3-man dungeons, the RP, the leveling and everything. Like, you're not wrong, man. It's going to take years before anybody feels like, I know I'm not going to be satisfied with this game until I have done one of everything at 60, and I have like, maybe rank 14 on one character. Like, that's when
like 10 years.
Yeah,
it's like 10 years.
It's like 10 years, dude. Yeah.
I'll be sitting here 10 years older. I'll be turning 40. I'll have a glass of wine and a cigar, not knowing what the hell I'm doing, just being like, where did 10 years of my life go? And why do I have wine and a cigar?
It's over here. This is Pogren. Well, I've done it, boys. I finally reached level cap with every single class and every single spec, and I have every bit of content on farm. I've got rank 14 on my shaman, and I've got a cat in my lap, and I don't know why.
Where am I anymore? What is up? What is down? What is life?
I mean, that's it, man. I'm gonna, like I've said before, like, my whole thing is, once I get to the point where I have rank 14 on my warrior, I'm happy, man. I don't care anymore. Like, I'll do whatever, I'll play whatever, I'll do anything in the game. I don't give a shit. But when I'm rank 14 on my warrior, that's the end game for me. That's been the end game for me for the past 15 years, and I haven't been able to do it. Not in a capacity that matters anyway. I had no interest on private servers. I knew that shit was gonna be gone. I'm not gonna freaking dedicate my life to a server that's gonna disappear in a week.
Look, I'm like going to be doing recruiting for my guild that I'm creating on Light's Hope, and I'm just like, is this gonna like be gone? Do I even want to level a character beyond a certain point, or do I just want to like let people know I'm making a guild?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Hey, and then I want to throw out my last talking point while we're piggyback off this other idea.
Go ahead.
This idea of, you know, the majority of us, probably everybody watching the stream right now, that didn't get invited to the closed
No beta club hashtag.
Hashtag no beta, baby.
This idea of it being a blessing in disguise, right? Not being invited to the beta, it's a good thing. But you know, we're talking on these talking points. Is that really a valid point to say? Is this a blessing in disguise because I'm scared of burnout, or, you know, I want that initial experience. I want to be able to I want to be able to make 3, 4, 5 alts. And if I played the Classic WoW beta for, you know, 5 months, where I didn't get the time to, where I would have created 5 or 6 alts, would I still create those 5 or 6 alts afterwards, after 3 months of playing the Classic WoW beta? We're acting as if no one's gonna get tired of this game.
People will get tired. We might not.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's what I'm saying. So, is it a blessing in disguise that we're not invited to the beta? Because I'm psyched, dude. I think I'm gonna have a huge surge at the beginning. I'm gonna get like 10 characters leveled up, hopefully, at least to level 35 for my max level professions within the first 4 months, right? And then just, you know, kind of sit on that, and I could roll into 5, 6, 7 years after that surge, right? And so I'm just talking about that initial excitement, setting up your account. I don't know.
I keep thinking I'm sugarcoating it for myself to make it more realistic, because I don't want to get my expectations up, because I know every single time I get home I check for my beta. When I saw that other people were getting in the other day, and even though they got their beta access removed, I still got excited when maybe I still actually have the beta. Right. And even if I had the beta, I don't think I would get burned out. If anything, it probably would help me with writing my content right now, because I'm having such a writer's block. I'm having to sit here and like I'm writing this script, and I'm like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. All I can think about is the beta. All I can think about is these numbers, because like if I was in the beta, I would be writing numbers down and making a video on numbers.
Right.
On like when I'm fighting for shamans and when I'm fighting for like I want to like at this point I know that enhancement shaman's a possibility, because when we were testing it on the PTR, we were doing as much as a warrior in pre-raid this, and I'm just like, oh man, if this is a reality and if it's actually possible to do more, like. and it like kindles this like hope, this fire. Even if I got the beta, I don't think that hope could ever go. I don't know that fire could ever be extinguished. If anything, it might get hotter. I might go on a video rant. I don't know. You get me?
Yeah, I mean, I know that like I wish I had the beta just for the simple fact that like I want to be able to like just stream it. I want to be able to create content for it because like man, I'm out there. I've been on Twitch streaming freaking Rust. Like I don't really want to play Rust. Like
feels rusty.
Yeah, like because like I can't stream anything WoW related. I don't want to play retail. I can't stream private servers. Like so, yeah, I make content and it's fun. I still got tons of ideas for content. I've got
oh my god, this meme.
long list. But at the same time, like I know that once Classic comes out, there's just a door that's just going to open. I'm just going to be like, okay, now I have tons of content because it's going to be streams and there's going to be highlights and all this stuff and then the random little things that I find, little guides for this and that. So I'm not worried about content once Classic comes out. I think I actually have enough stuff already to get me from here till launch if I'm just doing one video a week. But at the same time, like I want more. Like I want more relevant stuff. It's like right now let's be honest, the hype for the beta has died down significantly from the past like couple weeks. So in that like last week or two, like right when it came out, anything that everybody was watching, everyone was just freaking, oh my god, beta, yes, I need beta. And now it's like, all right, back to the regular Classic stuff to get me ready for it. Like I don't need to see these people swinging at 30 and 40 now.
Right.
Atticus, go look at my Discord real quick. Frost just put out the best meme. If you guys are, bring it up on the stream real quick. It's everyone pledging allegiance to like Jon Snow, but they replaced Jon Snow's head with classic WoW. Then there's like my favorite cargos. There's Atticus. There's Grays. There's Hypnotic Bud.
Oh my god, I'm in there. That's hilarious.
Shut up.
Hold on. I don't even know how to bring this up.
The King in the North.
Jesus.
That's what's up,
Ross,
that's
cool. Like,
dude,
oh,
that's
man,
so
that's too good.
That is so good.
Oh.
It's
Can you bring it up?
So
you can see it on my screen a little bit there.
Yeah, hold on, let me see.
Oh, Frost, that's too good.
That's what's up, dude.
Alright, here we go.
North.
Let me try to throw it on this.
Oh, man.
We're just going to have this in the background for the rest of the thing. If I can get it to work right. Anyway.
That's cool, man. Yeah. So, I'll say this. Probably for all of us, I don't think we would out, but for people that are going to jump into this thing and they're going to get hooked, they're going to be excited, it's probably a good thing that they don't have beta, right? Like, imagine how burned out, because, dude, the game is a freaking huge time investment. If you're not sold on this game like we are, like, dude, we've all practically sold our souls to World of Warcraft coming out, in the next couple years. Like, it's our priority, right? For everybody that's not sold up to that point, it's such a huge time investment. I truly think it's a blessing in disguise. You're going to be able to, because how demoralizing is it to spend 100 hours on an account and then it get wiped and you got to start over from day one. Now, granted, it's a blast. Like we all know Altaholics. Like it's so much fun to do, but it might be a good thing that the general public isn't.
This is real though. Like this whole pledging allegiance to freaking Classic thing, dude. Like, hopefully no one I work with is watching my stream right now because they all have access to my YouTube. But like, I've joked about it, but at the same time, I'm kind of not joking about it. Like, if this stuff doesn't like work, like I mean, if I don't get my days off back, like I'm just sorry guys. Like if you fire me, you fire me. But I'm like I'm playing legit, WoW. Man. Like I'm literally gonna just freaking sit there and play classic WoW. Like for those 2 weeks straight, I will gladly come back into work when those 2 weeks are up. But if you fire me because like you forget to give me that time off or whatever,
sure,
I'm sorry. But like I've been waiting for this for 15 years, and I'm not about to sully the because like think about it, man. We're all out here trying to make it on YouTube. We're all trying to make it on Twitch. We're trying to do that.
Sure.
Like the launch week is so crucial to that future for every one of us. If we're not there, then we're not looked down upon by any means. But like we're not in the running for like top gunners. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've got to be there. We've got to be bringing the content. We've got to be bringing the freaking pain train. I got to be doing curls in the background when I'm on flight paths. Sure. Like, that's just... I'm not going to miss it.
I will say it's a little bit different for us. Mm-hmm. But could you imagine if you weren't a content creator and you weren't there?
Oh, I know. I've got friends that are just like...
apart.
Yeah, I've got friends that are, like, they're only going to be able to take, like, a day or two off when it launches. If that.
Yeah, like there's oh, and this is what excites me so much. And again, guys, I advocate so much for taking it slow and smelling the roses along the way during the leveling route. I'm speed leveling that first week. I'm hitting level cap the first week because there's only a 1 week window of things that you can do for the entirety of Classic WoW, like raiding an empty city. How badass does that sound?
Or just running in there and there's
once,
like
right?
only like level 20s and 30s and stuff.
Yes.
Right. And I could, you know,
So
and I
funny.
could do these things. I could do these things.
Just running in, and they're just all. There's houses are on fire, children are screaming.
Oh
some
my
dude's
God,
got
yes.
his head in the toilet. We don't know why. It's just.
Yeah, it's gonna be sick. That's what I'm saying. And we could do that on the second or third iteration, but this is point in history. Like, dude, we're living in just, I don't know, just glorious times, and there's only
Oh, Frost with the memes,
so much that you can do in
boys.
this time period.
Did he bring
Anyways,
another
I'm
one?
sorry. I'm sorry. He put up 4 more.
Oh God, hold on.
They're all Game of Thrones memes that have just been like except for one Lord of the Rings. Sorry, there's 3 Game of Thrones and 1 Lord of the Ring.
This is so good.
Oh God, the one where he's crushing the dude's head. Ugh.
I love it.
Sorry to interrupt for the
you're
meme.
good.
But
No,
I'm gonna throw something out in the link real quick. If anybody wants to come see what we're talking about, because we can't always bring them up here.
Yeah, it's hard to get them all up. I made one good meme.
I
made
here's
one good
here's a
meme.
link to my Discord. But yeah, the memes are legit, man. The memes are legit.
I thought watching streamers was stupid until the only game I wanted to play was the game I can't play yet. Dead.
Yeah.
I feel you on that, dude. Because like, even though like I stream, I'm still just like, I don't really care to watch streamers. Like, I'll watch these guys like when they talk about stuff and when they're playing stuff. But like other games, dude, like I don't care. I just watch it on YouTube. Like I watch the highlights on YouTube. But yeah, like
absolutely.
when Classic WoW beta stuff, I was just like, oh, Soda Poppin', I know who you are. I was like, I know who Vinruki is. Like Vinruki's the one I've actually watched the most. Like, I used to never care about watching Vinruki because he was just arena this, arena that. He was good, and I was just like, cool, another good arena player, don't really care. But then, once, like, he started playing classic stuff, I was like, and he plays a mage. I'm like, I don't... That's, like, the complete opposite of what I play, but I'm like, he's a good dude. He's actually, like, doing fun stuff. He's not, like, all up on his high horse. I was like, I'm gonna watch this dude. And thank you, Robin. Robin says, I enjoy listening to these WoW lectures more than watching anything else. Even more than watching beta gameplay. Thanks, dude.
Thank you, man.
Really
That's pretty cool.
appreciate that.
Real quick, I want to thank CJ for the gifted sub to Frost. Thank you so much for the memes, Frost. Go ahead, Graze.
Yeah, and Robin, there is something. There's something to this atmosphere that we've created right now in this. If you want to call it a talk show, this is different than vanilla about gameplay. This is pure passion. Now combine this passion with in-game community events. Some of the videos that I'm going to be creating. Whether it's a creative video or doing something cool in the game, you combine those two together, and it's gonna be nuts. And this is why, you know, I'm tentative on how big the streaming's gonna be. Like, dude, I don't want to watch people play Classic WoW whenever the game is released, right? But it involves such a huge time sink. People are gonna be living out their goals. They're gonna be living out their dream through other streamers, and I think that's a reality just because of the nature of the game. But also because of this atmosphere that we're creating. It's weird, dude. It's a feels good, man, all the way. So World of Warcraft with what we're doing right here. I don't know. This game is created. It sparked. It sparked something inside of people, dude. I don't even know what it does.
It's passion. It's love. It's understanding that you're going to be able to play a game that actually allows you to talk to people and actually work with people.
It gives you something to work for. Like, think about think about the games right now that are out.
Meaningful content. Sorry, go ahead.
No, like think about the games that are out right now that are popular. I mean, in my group of friends, we got Overwatch. So let's talk about Overwatch. Quick play, because otherwise you're just going to be stressed about losing rating because the rating system is complete trash. It does not function the way that any rating system should function in any game. So if you do go for rating, you're not going to have a good time. Alright, let's go to League of Legends. Exact same thing. Quick play does not matter. Like, just normal games do not matter at all. Rating is just not fun because most of the community is terrible. Other games my friends play, well, we played Apex Legends a little bit. The rating system in that's trash. Nothing that you get in the game matters. It's like all these games, like those three at least, alone, are just, there's nothing to do. You just go play quick play, you get cosmetic shit, and it doesn't matter.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, but this is the first game that I'm going to actually enjoy playing. I did that 24-hour live stream on the stress test, 1 to 10.
so
I played
jealous.
Warsong Gulch for 8 hours straight.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can stay up for 24 hours playing this game. No other game has ever made me. And I know I'm nerding out, spazzing out, whatever you want to call it. And ever since I was 9 years old, whenever I first played this game, that's what I've always wanted to do. Like, dude, I've dreamt of this. This has been my lifelong dream. It's actually coming back. So, yeah, Atticus, I've had my moments. You know, I've had video games where, you know, call me new, but me and my cousin played Minecraft for 1 or 2 years. You know, it was glorious times. Like, we could have played that for 24 hours straight, but then it fizzles out, it dies.
Yeah, because there's just no progression. Like, it's just...
Yeah, and for some reason, vanilla WoW is the only thing that's held up.
Well,
And
it's like Vanilla, BC, and Wrath. Those were ones where, like, progression wasn't trash. The game wasn't, like, just bullshit. So, like, it's the feeling... It's not just the fact that it's vanilla. It's the feeling of logging into a game and being like, I did this last night. I have this because I did that. And now I can get this because I did that. And it will help me get closer to this. So, like, it's just the simple fact that you're creating a bigger and bigger and bigger avatar, and then having that bigger avatar, having that like namesake in the community, people know you do these things, they're meaningful.
Right.
But like the only way that that's like a thing nowadays is just through glamour, through Twitch. Like name people in games that you know right now, like in a game you play, the only ones that you can like name off the bat are just streamers, because that's what it's turned to. It doesn't matter about the people on your server, because there are no servers in these games. It's just like, here's a match, there's a match, there's a match. You don't see anybody ever that you've seen before. But yeah, MMOs in general are just good for that. But unfortunately, the only good MMO, in my opinion, has been World of Warcraft Trilogy. Oh, back to this thing real quick. So, did y'all ever do Arena extensively, or did you just dabble with it? Like,
Dabbled. Like, I think I may have played a total of 10 matches in Arena.
Oh, nice. What about you, Grace?
Yeah, no, I probably with Pogren like 20, 30 matches in Cataclysm.
Nice.
I'm more of a PvE guy myself, so PvP
totally
is untouched
rating.
territory.
So, I did Arena very extensively. I was very high rated and whatnot in Wrath. I got to, I was like Rival in BC, and then I got right up under Gladiator in Wrath, but I was over 2,500 and whatnot. But, this is the thing, like, I've had people say, like, we need Arena in Classic, and I don't think we do, like, at all. Like, I would love to do it.
Never.
But the problem with it is the game is not balanced that way. Resilience needs to exist for Arena. Cooldowns need to be shorter than 10 minutes for Arena.
I hate Resilience.
Yeah, and that's the problem as well, because Resilience needs to be interchangeable, and that only comes with gems. Because you can only get so many enchants, you can only get so many, like, pieces of gear that have Resilience. Because, like, the way in BC, like, Paladins would just stack Resilience in every single slot. Holy Paladins would. Because they had enough mana regen through or their other abilities and whatnot. They didn't need to stack for Intellect or anything like that. So, literally, they were just freaking tanks. I mean, it was fun for them, but miserable for anyone attacking them. And you can't do that in Classic. So, like, having Arena in Classic, if you want to do that, just go to the Gurubashi Arena. Not that that's a topic that we've been talking about, but that's something that some people have been saying, and it needs to be addressed. We do not need Arena in Classic.
No, we absolutely do not need Arena in Classic. The only thing I could technically... I mean, like, if you want Arena, there's technically also rank 14 grind is like Arena. Like, that's your rank, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, in the rating system, yeah, but, like...
Yes.
That's what a lot of people's argument is for why they need it, because rank 14 does not require skill. It literally just requires no lifing. Like I said, though, with cross-realm BGs, it does start to incorporate skill, because the more you stay alive, the more honorable kills you get, because you're in battlegrounds more often than your world PvPing. So, then you actually have some skill factor coming into play. But nonetheless, you could still just be followed around by like 5 healers and just never die.
It's interesting. Yeah, my obviously experience is limited on that idea, but that's the first time I've heard someone bring up talking points like that. Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. And the reason I wouldn't want Arena, because that was Burning Crusade, right? That wasn't vanilla. But then, you know, does that rebuttal the point that we want Classic WoW Plus? We want all these raids that weren't in the game. You know, where do you draw the line? I don't know.
Well, I would see it might be the place where we draw the line. But the one thing I would even say is, even with the Classic WoW Plus stuff, a lot of the stuff we'd be wanting to add, I would say, is side content, nothing that actually go better or beyond, in my mind, than max.
Yeah.
So that also means like PvPing. If they add extra PvP, I mean, I'd like to see other
That one
battle
PvP
arenas
zone
like
that they scratched.
yeah. What was that?
Battleground? I don't know what it was called.
Valley of Ajara or something like that, or
Yeah.
Valley of.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be similar to Alterac Valley, but like a
Yeah.
combination of like, I think they actually said something about having like a payload type situation in that.
I mean, they might have been trying to play around with it at the hell did you drop?
I threw something in my metal ass trash can. Continue.
Okay. But no, they could technically add those extra. That would be Classic WoW Plus. They added like maybe 2 extra battlegrounds for level 60.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'd be down for that, especially if it was that Ajara one. Maybe they even do one for Grim Batol, and it's all dwarven themed and everything like that. And you have orcs versus dwarves.
It'd be
or something
sweet
like
if
that.
it was like underground. Ooh.
Oh man, that'd be even cool, like a Black Rock Mountain one or something like
Or
that.
like they had one that was similar to that, and I think it came out in Mist, where you were like in the cave and you had to. There were like 3 carts that were moving away from the center, and you had to escort them, and then whoever had control of the cart, whenever it reached the point, you got points for it. So that was I did like that battleground. That one was cool, but still not classic. Go die.
Atticus, have you ever heard of something called overhydration? I'm sitting there with a Culligan jug drinking out of it. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I think of that story I heard back in the day whenever the Wii came out. This lady died because it was who could hold their pee the longest. Lady freaking died trying to win a Wii. WII, by the way. Those gaming systems.
Yeah, I remember that. Yes.
Yeah. So anyways,
Oh my God.
Dead of Night, dude. He's making some really good points, dude. This guy's been in my Discord. I love him. This second point he made, I think arenas were one of the few things that should differentiate from the modern game from classic to give you a reason to play both. That's a fair point.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't want to be able to do everything that you can in classic.
I mean,
how long is retail gonna last?
I could say some pretty terrible things about retail right now.
No, we don't need to. We don't need to. But I like how you're making a distinction between the two. And that's something corporate probably thinks of. I don't know. I don't know what's like. Even if they make retail better, guys. Like even if they make it like vanilla WoW, I don't know if you can ever come back. And I don't have any interest in playing it. And the fan base, I just don't see retail coming back.
Here's how they bring it back. If they make retail, it's just an idea, because I don't think I'm ever going to give up playing Classic WoW for retail.
No.
But if I might play it alongside it. If they get rid of the idea of you being the hero versus being a group of adventurers. Like if they bring back the group of adventurers, I'd play it. If they bring back the non-epic world ending, like you have to go to space crap, I'd play it.
Sure.
If they made it more about the world and they do a whole, like, let's pull a Skyrim, let's pull an Elder Scrolls and go, I don't know, 500 years in the future in World of Warcraft, and this is where we're at now in the next expansion. Peace has finally reigned. Orcs and Alliance together on one party. Dogs and cats living together in harmony. Like,
there's a guy in a toilet still. We don't know why.
We don't know why he's still in the toilet upside down. He's been getting himself a swirly since 2005. But like that's where I feel WoW is going on the live servers. Like the idea that the Horde get to team up with the Alliance a little bit to take down Sylvanas. I get it. It's a
oh no.
What's the word I'm looking for? It's a cop-out to have Sylvanas be Garrosh 2.0, but whether or not that even makes it, I don't even know. Atticus, I love how you're the main point of the...
You shush, I didn't mean to do that. I fixed
thought
it.
you were doing something.
No, I just fixed it. It's fine.
Well, and Dead of Night made another point. Cattle was fun in some ways, but the whole
Yeah.
story of your character became a distant memory as the world you grew up in was wiped clean. And and that's another thing is retail too far gone. And
Yeah.
honestly, dude, whenever Cataclysm came out, and I came back for Cat, and I didn't realize what was happening. I was probably 14, 15 at the time. I was a freshman in high school. I logged back in, and I was like, where the hell? Like, what am I living in? What? Like, this isn't the original world, and it ruined it for me. I don't know if we can come back from that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd like to say yes, but it's gonna be...
I would never play retail, dude. Because retail, and get this, guys, the reason I played Cataclysm, and I quit. I played Mist of Pandaria and I quit. I played Warlords and I quit. Gave up on Legion and Battle for Azeroth is because every time I came back to retail WoW, I was searching for something that I remembered that I played in vanilla WoW. I was searching for that vanilla WoW experience. And I think that's what everybody was doing. Like, if I get satisfied in vanilla WoW and they fix retail WoW, that's not the game I want to play. The game I want to play is vanilla WoW. I don't think I ever want to play retail again.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then the idea of classic WoW plus, dude, the next 20 years of my life, I'm good. I have vanilla WoW. I would never play retail again.
The only reason I ever played anything past Wrath of the Lich King was because that's all there was. If I wanted to play WoW, I had to play that. If I wanted to PvP and be competitive, that's what I had to do. And you can say like, oh, well, you could have played on a private server, but I'd spent the past, what was it at that point, 6 years of my life, 7 years of my life on that one freaking warrior. Like, no, I'm not about to just go throw him away for a private server just because, like, I mean, I'm a super competitive person, but I also still have the emotional attachment to, my freaking child. Like, literally, if there is a being on this universe that would be considered my child, it would be that motherfucker who's 15 years old right now. 15 years old.
My warrior, same thing.
Yeah.
I still have him. He's the exact same character. I may have faction changed him. I may have changed his race once or twice, but he is now back to an orc.
Yeah.
He's
I mean,
back on the horde. Like, no.
I love him for who he is, even though I've changed him a lot.
I'm sorry, my child.
He's gone through gender changes. He's
Oh my gosh. He's living in the times.
Yes. But I also gotta agree with CJ here. He says, "What the fuck happened to Azeroth when he logged into Kata for the first time?"
dude.
Dude, like I don't mind. Like at first I was like, "Oh, they're gonna change some stuff. They're gonna add new leveling quests. I'm gonna be able to experience some stuff." And then I was like, "What the fuck did they do to my barons?
Yep.
Why is my backyard messed up? What is this garbage?
Get these kids off of my lawn."
Hell.
Literally though, same point that I'm
Shotgun.
gonna reiterate, because this is something that like everyone just needs to like have brought to their attention. The World of Warcraft as we have it now has existed longer than it was pre-Kata. Like, there are children that play this game right now that never played during the world of vanilla craft. Like,
they are so lucky. They are so...
Because they get the chance now. I mean, like, let's think, when did it change? Cataclysm was like 2010?
2009. 2009,
2010, yeah.
Yeah, so we got 9 and 10-year-olds right now that could potentially play Classic and just be like, oh my god, this was out 6 years before I was alive. What the...
You know what this makes us? You guys ready for this? This makes us the old dirty neckbeards that used to play like EverQuest and thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
And we know that something else is better that's coming out and we're going to go whole hog on it.
That's true.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Man, I realized that I was old. Thursday after Scuff stream, I had to go out, clear my head and everything. I went to this thing called Emo Night. It's called Taking Back Myrtle Beach Emo Night, and this band played that was just playing nothing but old emo songs from like 2006.
What?
And I was
crawling in my
That's not emo. Get out of here. I was like headbanging when they played heavy songs. I was moshing. I was jumping around. This literally went on for like 4 hours straight. And I remember halfway through the show, I was like, dude, I'm in the best shape of my life, but I'm just hurting right now. I am too old for this shit.
That's funny.
Like,
dude, I'm in a weird position, Atticus. Like, obviously, I played the game when I was 9.
Yeah.
It's really weird because you say that makes me in that old neckbeard have wisdom thing, and I feel like I'm an outcast on it. Maybe because I didn't progress through the game. I wasn't old enough to really. I didn't do in-game content, right? I hit level cap in Wrath of the, but I was playing as a vanilla freaking warrior the summer of 2005. Oh, it was painful, right? So I'm in a weird position. The way, because I relate with the people my age, but I'm also making videos for a demographic of 25 to 50-year-olds, right? So it's interesting. It's an interesting.
Where's that, Sonny?
Where's that, Sonny?
You're making videos for me.
Making videos on the YouTubes.
Judas Priest Barbara, it's one of them flaming bags again.
and I wanna make a point. These people coming back, these people that have never played in the old world, dude. No one's played private service. If you haven't played vanilla WoW, well, actually, I take that back. There's a lot of people that did dip into private service. I've heard a lot of talk of people that never played the game, but they played on private service for the first time and they fell in love. Absolutely, but there's a lot of people that didn't experience the original game, and I want to talk about how hooked I was And this is the nostalgia aspect, guys. Vanilla WoW is nostalgia. Everybody wants to play Vanilla WoW because that first time running through, you don't know what's next. You don't know what next zone you're going to. You don't know the quests that you're going to experience. You don't know all these things. And yes, there's that nostalgia factor that we're all chasing after. So for the people that have never played in the old world, do they still get that first time experience, even though it's going to be reworked? Like if you've played through the zones, it's not as fresh. It's not as new. You're still going to go to the Barrens. You're still going to, Shimmering Flats, it won't be underwater. So yeah, obviously that'll look different, but it's not the exact same. You're not going to get that same hook.
The quests are different, though. I gotta say that right now. The quests, are completely different. And the quests themselves actually need you to go out and get people to help you with it. Like, I mean, come on. It's a different story. Like, I think they'll be able to get hooked again. I think it might actually... I don't know, man. It's going to hook me again. Are you kidding me? I'm going to get so hyped playing through it for the first time.
We got a real OG in here.
But guys, I can't stress the first time I walked into Teneris, this desert, and how memorable that was for me. Just in this wasteland, and there's these dangerous mobs, and a freaking vulture was taking me out, and I went and saw these crazy bugs or these huge giants. I don't know if these people that are coming back are going to get that full experience. I just want to make a point that whenever people say, "Oh, it's just nostalgia," they're absolutely right. It is what we're chasing after is nostalgia. That first time that we played through, but for some reason, the Vanilla WoW game design is so good. Somehow the game has held up to this point. So it's just an interesting. Will these new players experience that nostalgia factor?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm definitely looking at some nostalgia factors, but at the same time, like. It's not just nostalgia. The game is actually just freaking amazing, and they proved that on the betas. But no, I get what you're saying.
But that first time through, just oh my gosh, that's why it's my lifelong dream to play vanilla. That first time playing through.
I think more to kind of answer your question more thoroughly though. The people who are going to come back, who are going to be playing the resident sleepers, the people who play only BFA right now, when they come back and they go to play through the Barrens and they realize it's different. I think
it's 10 to 20.
That's 10 to 20. Oh no, it's not. It's more than 10 to 20.
And 10 to 25, and it takes a month to level through.
Basically, I think it's gonna. If anything, it's gonna finally give them what we've been saying. Like, these damn kids don't listen to us old folks about how good it was back in our time.
Yeah.
But now they actually get that, man. I mean, like, I don't know how many people have started watching these streamers and kind of go, you know what, this actually does look like the game I want to play. I see what these other guys are talking about. You know, I don't know. Yeah. It's something we could grab. We could figure out more. I shouldn't say figure out more, but like, you know, I want to play the game.
I just want it to shift gaming. Like, I just want Classic WoW to be a testament to how the old ways were right. The microtransaction world is fucking horseshit. It serves no purpose other than to fucking line the pockets of people who are in these big companies that just... That's all they do is just money. Like, we don't care how shitty our game is. Like, you've got this... Like, think about Fortnite. Fortnite is a prime example of a company that is trying to do their best in this world and make it work both ways. It's a crappy game, not gonna lie. But the thing is, they've figured out their gameplay. They pretty much solved it, right? It's exactly how it's gonna be. It's not really gonna change that much. All they do is they change their map around. They add a weapon, they take away a weapon. They add some kind of toy, they take away a toy. And then all the incentives are just cosmetic stuff. But they've got a rating system. But the game is just trash. You don't need a rating system for that. But the main point I'm making is that, like, that's all it is. That's, like, as far as their progression goes. It's just, what kind of cosmetic changes are we going to make this week?
Yeah. That's a huge point. And that's what gaming has become. Get this, guys. I played PlayStation 2. SSX 3, NBA Street Volume 2, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4. Were those games just a product of their time period, or were they actually good games? Those single-player games don't get made anymore. You have NBA 2K. Yeah, you have NBA Online, 2K Online, right? You don't have NBA Street Volume 2 while you play against the computer. Those were badass games, right? And they don't make those anymore. There's this whole era of video game design that hasn't been developed in the last 10 years. And I think, and I've seen other YouTubers talk about it. You know, I follow a couple basketball YouTubers. They talk about how amazing those basketball games used to be. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 was it was nuts, right? And I think that there's a need for that game design that was 10 years ago. And Atticus, I think you're right. And I think that I truly think that Classic WoW is gonna break the world. It's gonna
God,
break.
I hope so.
I think it will.
Yeah.
It's a piggyback off your point, because yes, there was a time period of video games that hasn't been developed in the last 10 years that people have started to wake up and they're like, wait, why don't where are those old school video games again? I want to play, I want that, whatever you provided me in that game design, I want that again.
Well,
and I think we're going to see a comeback.
This is what it is. So let's take it back to the beginning of video games. I'm not talking about the very, very beginning, but we'll start with like Mario. Mario was like, all right, here you are. You're this guy. You ain't shit. You get touched once, you die. So there's your difficulty.
Sure.
Now it's like, get through this level. Pretty easy. All right, now here on the next level, kind of harder. Next level, kind of harder. Boss. All right, this one is, next level's kind of easy. A little bit harder, a little bit harder. That's what it was. That was your progression. You had the feeling of mortality because you were very, very squishy. And then you had the sense of achievement because you completed a level. And then you had a greater sense of achievement completing the final boss of that level. And now they go into, let's see, let's jump really far forward to something that was kind of different but still the same. Like you said, Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Sure. You had all these levels. You could just complete all the objectives that you needed to complete that level and then just move to the next one. Or you could take it a step further and 100% that level and possibly unlock something else that would, like a new stat point or something for Pro Skater 2. You got like more stat points for 100%ing a level. Right. So it was progression. It made you a little bit better to make the next level that was a little bit harder a little bit easier.
Sure. Now
look at World of Warcraft Classic. They took all of that shit and applied it to an online game. And what's happened is that every game that's come out after this, and like all the games that are coming out nowadays, they've reached this point where they just started stripping away little bits of each game that was like, here's progression, take that away, no, let's make this a little bit easier, let's move it to this, oh, give us money for that. And then now every game nowadays is just like, yeah, just online play, and there's no progression, there's nothing that makes your character better, it's all just cosmetic, and if you want more cosmetic, give us money.
You guys ready for the Doomsayer?
You're blowing my mind. Yeah, go ahead, but take it away.
Okay. So, Bellular Gaming is somebody I watch.
Yeah.
The recent COD game that came out, I don't know if you guys looked at it, I don't know if anybody looked at it at all, but right now, it's like $60 to buy. It's $120 for like the Season's Pass.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, to even still get other stuff, they have an in-game shop, they have loot boxes you can buy, which then allows you to pay to win. The game itself is structured like a free-to-play game, but also then costs you $60 to buy.
Yep.
Right now, what we are going to see is, I have a feeling the gaming industry, they took a dip earlier this year, right? They're going to take a second dip. We're going to see Activision Blizzard probably split, which is just an idea a feeling I have going forward because of the missteps that Activision is taking. The idea of the mobile market and what's going on in China is that's kind of influxing into our gaming industry. The gaming industry goes, look at all the money they're making off these games, but the culture here in the United States and how it functions for gaming is much different. There's so much that's asking for our time nowadays that Classic WoW is going to be a time sink that doesn't require more of us than just to play it.
Yep.
Right.
And I think if anything, what this will either do is make people realize that they need to start like, whoa, let's pump the brakes. These indie games have it. These smaller game companies have what is needed.
Yeah.
Like, I like Mordhau because you can unlock everything.
Yeah.
You have the capability of getting the best weapon by playing the game. Play to win, not games as a service.
Yeah.
So, like, I want the games industry.
Yeah.
I want the game industry to understand players. The reason why people like video games is because they used to take you on an adventure. They didn't make you have to pull out your wallet and grab your pittance, the little bit of money you got, and to throw at something else because they want to charge you for a $60+ game, and then on top of that you got to buy these points. Then you have to play online against these people. Right. Good luck, the game's only going to last 6 months, and the new version will be out, and you have to start all over again. Like. That's a horrible way of looking at gaming, and it's burning people out. And I think the gaming industry is either, like, these big AAA companies, a lot of them are going to start closing up shop. A lot of them can't handle the dip.
I think that because that's the thing, like, all this like pay to win is gonna get not ruined, but they're going to take a dip because there's going to be a huge amount of people playing this game that doesn't cost a damn bit of money to play. Like, I mean, $15, but, you know, you're, like, all these people that are, like,
Compared to
serious
microtransactions.
yeah, like, if they take 1 million people, let's just say just 1 million people, which that's like, not we're going to get more than that. But anyway, 1 million people, and you take them away from Fortnite, you take them away from Call of Duty, you take them away from all these microtransaction things. That's literally millions upon millions of dollars that those companies are now losing because these people don't have the time to sink into another game if they want to continue to progress in World of Warcraft, and they're not spending money in World of Warcraft. I mean, yeah, the $15 a month, but that ain't shit. Like, $15 a month, even if every pay-to-win thing was like that, was like that, it'd be different. But nowadays, like, dude, in Fortnite, you literally have to spend $36 just to get the, like, full set for a skin. Like, you gotta get the skin, the axe, the glider, and then, like, I think just those 3 things is, like, $36. It's so freaking stupid. And the backpack, too, or something. But, yeah, I mean, I just hope that it rips away from all these other companies and they start realizing we gotta give more people more incentive to actually play the game.
Well, get this too. I think the element of streamers nowadays and the fact that people can make a YouTube channel and they can make a video that gets 1 million hits and it gets shared all over the place. You know, 2 million views, whatever industry you're in, like that NBA Street Volume 2 industry that I'm talking about. Like, dude, the basketball player fan, like, there's a huge fan base for that. Fans can dictate what's coming out. Fans dictated Classic WoW coming back. This was totally internet phenomenon thing. Like, you know, and this isn't something that could have happened 10 years ago. But in the age of streamer influence and in the age of the community truly can have their voice heard. If 10 years ago that game design really does hold up, for some reason that was the sweet spot, and everybody's tired of microtransactions and stuff. Like, I feel like the community is going to be a big element in changing the history of game design coming forward in the next 10 years. I don't know. If the community got if the community got these guys to make Classic WoW, granted it was an old game that got reworked. Yeah, imagine what games that they could bring back, because I would love to, like that basketball series on PlayStation. I would love to see that NBA Street Ball come back. It would be a huge hit, dude. Everyone loved it, right? And so if you just had a couple influencers, content creators make it, like, the demand's gonna be there. I don't know. It's gonna be wild, dude. Again, like I've said in the past, I can't wait for someone to make a documentary on how classic World of Warcraft changed.
Yeah.
But it's point in history of how it changed the gaming industry, you know, in the last 15 years. It's gonna be nuts, dude.
What made... Sorry, go ahead.
Nope.
So what I was gonna say is, what made... This is a question for you guys in chat. What makes Street Fighter so good? Just give me an example of something from that game that makes it so good. If you've played Street Fighter, if you know what I'm talking about,
absolutely,
what makes it good?
I mean, I guess for me, from a competitive standpoint, doing actually, like, having to, like, learn all the combos and everything, that's challenging.
Combos.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have
the
those
actual
combos
ever changed?
No.
No. They understood a format that worked.
Yeah.
Quarter circle forward, punch. Hadouken.
Yeah.
Full half circle, kick. The spinning kick. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. Same with Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, true.
Sub-Zero's freeze is still down, up. It's still, like, back, down, forward, and then punch. Like, you understand what the game is capable of. It doesn't try to do anything more. It has always been good. It had a formula. Classic WoW had that formula. They tried to continue it with the last 2 expansions, and then after that, it went downhill because they tried adding other elements to try to make the game more marketable. This is, at that time in 2010-9, is when Blizzard was no longer run by the developers, and it was run by those who handle the stock prices. People see a trend, they go after that trend. Battle Royales. Battle Royales popped up everywhere. I don't think Battle Royales are really that strong of a game type. A lot of them are buggy as crap.
Yep.
A lot of them don't work properly. I remember playing games back as a kid where the games may have had, like, slight bugs to them, but they were made to last. They were made strong. Like Street Fighter, there's little bugs to it, but like Street Fighter 2 to Street Fighter 7, whatever they're on right now, I can still pick up Ryu, I can still pick up Ken, I can still pick up Guile, and I'll know exactly what I'm doing with that character. Whereas Classic WoW, I can still pick up a shaman. I'll know exactly what I need with that shaman because I understand how the shaman works. It isn't rotism goggles. It's understanding that these games were made better and more responsive than the newer stuff. Like, people think new graphics and tighter controls make a game good. No, those just make the game handle better. Gameplay, graphics literally could just be 2 dots in the square, but it has the most riveting gameplay and story you've ever experienced, and people will love 2 dots in the square. Like, people would go nuts to see people scream. Like a pawn. I mean,
I love
Pawn,
dude.
you're not wrong.
This is what I told people. Like, I've said this years ago, and I still stand by it. The PvP in World of Warcraft, I wouldn't care if my character was a freaking stick figure and all we were fighting with was other sticks. Like, it's the way that it feels and the way that it functions. Like, I don't give a shit what it looks like. It handles well, and the way that it works is fun. I love how one of my favorite things about a warrior is charge and intercept. Dude, I'm just running across the battlefield at full speed, stunning your ass, and then just sitting on you with a giant two-hander. Like, that is so fun to me. Just hitting big-ass numbers and locking somebody down, just keeping them up under my thumb. Like, hey, you can't go nowhere, and I'm going to hit you with my big old weapon. But, yeah, I mean, and people have been like, no, you need the freaking graphics. I'm like, no, you don't, dude. Like, that's why, like, I don't... Like, if that were true, then all these new graphics that they've done with, like, BFA and everything, I would be playing BFA. BFA sucks. It's freaking trash. I go from... If you go from playing Classic WoW Warrior to BFA Warrior, they're not even the same fucking thing. Like, at all. It's not. But, yeah. But, yeah, Robin, Charge is my favorite. And Classic as well.
There's like something that happened to the games industry. Like, somebody finally just, like, a switch went off and they went, let's no longer make games about passion, let's make games for money. Games have always been made for money, don't get me wrong, marketing is always a thing. But gameplay came first. Hooking somebody with gameplay. BFA has got interesting gameplay. I did some leveling. I will admit that I have played it and I have gone and done some of the Zoldazain quests or whatever it is. I didn't hate it, but it felt like I was literally just
get the fuck out.
Right.
Like, I don't have to do anything. I just gotta sit there and smack. I didn't want to really hit my keyboard. I don't want to, like, start opening windows and stuff like that. But, like, all I had to do was, like, I don't even have to really do anything. I can just sit there and hit one button.
Yeah.
And just, like, hammer on that one button, and it does what I need to. I don't even need it. I actually sat back on the couch, had my hand up, and I'm sitting there just clicking, and I'm killing 6 mobs at once. You're like a murder hobo.
Yeah.
Like, I'm wearing the worst gear possible, and I'm able to take on 6 things at once. I get that I'm 110 for level, but at the same time, man, like, my levels shouldn't mean anything. It really should just be like, if they really wanted to do their itemization right, start every expansion off with your gear giving you, like, 1 of every stat.
Yeah.
And then go
just make it, like, yeah, they need to make you, like, not feel like a monster, but they won't, because the children are the ones that pay their bills, not the people who actually care about content.
You know,
but that's something that, like, happened, dude. Like, the thing was, back in the day, they were like, all right, we're gonna make games and we're gonna have really good gameplay, because what's gonna happen is people are gonna see that this has really good gameplay. They're really gonna like our game. Then when we make the next one, they're gonna have already told a bunch of their friends about it, and then their friends are gonna want to come play, and then we're gonna make more money. But nowadays, it's just like, microtransactions exist, so we don't need your friends to like it. We just need you to like it. What were you gonna say, Grace?
Yeah, no, Pogren just blurted out a comment like, we don't want better graphics. It blows my mind because I'm in college right now, and, you know, friends, they played God of War, or look at Sekiro that just came out. Everybody loves... I can't.
Sorry, no, you're good. No one can pronounce it. It's all good.
Everyone plays these games because they're like, dude, did you see the graphics on the game? Did you... And I went over to my buddy's house. This happened last semester. I think he was showing me God of War, and he was like, dude, this game's badass. And I'm sitting here like, you know, I'm making content for... This was last semester. I was making content for Classic WoW. I was like, dude, I don't give a shit. Like, I don't care about graphics. Like, dude, I want to play Classic WoW. Like, the graphics don't mean shit to me. But there's this new wave of people that play games specifically for graphics. And the reason I think that they buy into gameplay being good because the graphics are so amazing is because it's more immersive. It makes you feel like you're there. I don't know. I've never understood it. I've never understood this idea of graphics making the game awesome to play. Obviously, they burn out and they move on to the next Mortal Kombat, and that makes those fighter games a little bit better because the graphics are more amazing. It makes it a little bit better, but it's just that's a weird point. I've never wanted to play a game because it had good graphics, but I will say this, and I know it sounds weird, and this might just be like a nerdy fetish that I might have. like, dude, get this. I can't wait for the day, dude. I will spurg out. Call it what you want. The day that I get to step into World of Warcraft in virtual reality.
No, I want that
and take
too,
it a
man.
step further. I want the VR mask on, and I want to be running on a treadmill, and running through Elwyn Forest, getting chased by a wolf, and I
the
get blood
freaking dream.
spatters on me.
That's
Right?
the dream.
Yeah.
That's the
No,
dream.
dude, and like that would be the day. That's what I want to see come out of Classic WoW. I would welcome better graphics into Classic WoW. You know, they had the updated graphics. I'm not a huge fan of. I really like the old ones just because the difference isn't that great compared to the old graphics to the new water. Like I don't care about the new water, but if it was old graphics to walking around in virtual reality, now the gameplay would obviously be different. You probably wouldn't be able to experience the game the same way. Dude, imagine
Sword Art Online.
fighting.
Hey.
Yeah, imagine fighting Onyxia. Oh, you're good. You're good.
Real quick, CJ, thank you for the donation, dude. Really appreciate it.
Good stuff.
The $5 hairs, love it.
But imagine fighting up close next to Onyxia, yada yada yada.
Oh my god.
Like, dude, it
It would be cancerous tanking a Nixia. I've already seen it in first person because you gotta like back up against the wall, and then you're already like zoomed in. So now you're just sitting there like, heh.
I would still play that game even if it had the current day World of Warcraft. This is another thing too that ties in a lot of these games, that franchises that are really good. You look at Mario, you look at almost all of the Nintendo line. Like Nintendo's the only gaming company outside of a couple that are like, they still have their original feel to their games because aesthetically they look like the original games. They still have the same color palettes. They have the same graphics and stuff. Yes, they have the same camera angles, like World of Warcraft styles. And the one thing people are like, I want smoother, more realistic graphics. I'm like, I don't know if this is just the old man in me. And they're like, I can't get immersed in a game if it doesn't have good graphics. It's like, I remember playing a game called Spyro the Dragon. Your character was made of exactly 5 pixels. Not 5 pixels, 5
Colors.
polygons.
Yeah,
No,
or-
polygons.
oh, okay,
when they
okay.
first made polygons. Like,
Yeah.
your character's made of 5 polygons. Probably more than that. But, like, the whole idea of, like, accelerated polygon graphics and, like, the stuff you had on the PlayStation, Spyro, Crash Bandicoot, man, like, none of that was high graphics. None of that was high tech. That was literally just, like, let's stretch this and stretch that. Oh, it looks like a dragon.
Yeah,
Bam! Spyro
yeah.
the Dragon.
Dude, Spyro
Like-
was the jam, man. I cannot.
Oh, man,
like,
it was.
it's probably all nostalgia for me at this point, honestly. But man, like even just thinking about that first zone where you just like, I've got the game upstairs. I might bust out my PlayStation 1 tonight and play, man. Like
Yeah, Spyro's been.
that's why
That's my living room.
that is why I never throw away game systems. I still have NES, Sega Genesis, PS1. I got like everything that I've ever had, and my mom's like, "Why don't you sell them? They're probably worth something." I'm like, "No, they're not worth anything."
But I'm not selling it.
What? They're worth
Check
something?
this out.
I don't think mine are worth anything. Yeah,
You guys see this brick?
I got one of them bad boys floating around.
Pokemon
too.
cards? Please tell me
No,
you still have your Pokemon.
I still have my Pokemon cards. I have my original Xbox One. It's actually cracked open a little bit. My buddy modded this. It's got a bunch of Nintendo games on it.
Nice.
It's got some inappropriate stuff on it as well. Because he downloaded some stuff on it. I wasn't aware of it.
9.
Well, kind of. I don't know. Like, there's like these loading screens because it's got Linux on it. It's got Linux on it.
Well, kinda.
Kinda. There's inappropriate Windows like loading screens. I can tell if they tell you that much right now. What the heck is going on in the background of your video?
Dude, I don't know. It's World of
But,
Roguecraft.
like, in my living room, I have an original PlayStation. I have an original PlayStation 2. I have Rogue. When Blizzard finally. Oh God. Oh yeah, there's Grace for Days Patreon. You guys want to go help him out? Go.
Yeah.
My Patreon's below. But outside of that, but like legit, guys, like those gaming systems. The reason why I still have them is 'cause the game's good. They weren't. It's not just nostalgia. I want to go play Baldur's Gate: Dark Alliance. It's still a great game.
And when they try to recreate the games on newer systems, they screw it up.
Yeah, they do. They
screw
always
it
do.
up. Man, I played. Okay, so I was kind of big into the Super Mario Brothers speedrunning thing for a minute. I didn't get the world record like close to it or anything, but you know, I got close for me. I was happy with it, whatever. But like, there's certain ways that like, you know, the character like starts and stops, and the way he accelerates, the way he slows down, and everything. It worked in a certain way on the original game, but then I played it again on a Wii at one point, and it was miserable. Like, it was like he would slide for, it was like you were playing on an ice level or something, and he would slide for so long you couldn't do any of the like same jumps. Like if you tried to do like on a world, it was a world 8 level 3. There's a jump where you have to start on the back of the tunnel, and then you run at full speed, and there's like a gap, brick, really big gap. And if you were to run at full speed, and if you like did it the right way that you did on NES, you would just run off. You would just like freaking fall in the hole or whatever, because there wasn't enough room to accelerate. So I hate that that's like what they try to do, and they like, you know, they screw it up. But surprisingly, bringing this full circle back to classic WoW, it's smooth as fuck. It's good. So I don't know. I'm happy.
Yeah, you got me thinking about Crash Bandicoot.
Oh god, now we're just talking about old games we love.
Well, in Dead of Night made a point. There's a massive community of retro gamers who spend all their time playing old games, collecting CRTs and old systems, speedrunning, emulation, etc. Yeah, dude, I've downloaded Game Boy Simulator and played freaking Pokemon Blue, Red, and Yellow. Right?
It's not the same,
I did the
man.
sped up version. Hey,
Yeah.
I don't have that kind of time, dude.
No, I know, I feel you, but I'm just saying it's not the same. Like I did the same thing. I downloaded an emulator, I played Red, and then all I did was I got Fire Red because I wanted to like have some updated shit, because the Fire Red was not that different than the original Red. But because I wanted to play it on an emulator, because who the hell has transfer cords anymore? Who the hell plays the game? I'm not going to play two iterations of it.
Excuse me?
Yeah,
I have transferred cords. I showed them to you.
And you're like far away, unless you got some kind of Bluetooth way to link that up or something. Right. But
fair point.
But the thing is, like, I wanted to just be able to get everything by myself. So whenever I went through and I was like, you know, okay, I'm at this point where there's, you know, Oddish here, but there's not Paris, whatever the frick it is, I can't remember. And I'd be like, okay, so in reality, I would need to get an Oddish to trade to someone who has a Parish on blue, or a Paris on blue, so that I would catch an extra Oddish, and then I would go and delete the Oddish, and then use the little like code to just give myself a Paris. So it was like I was playing with somebody else and transferring it, but like I had to go to that extra step, and it was fine. So in that sense, emulators are good, and they're fine, but like when it's a game that comes down to like the actual like mechanics of the game being so important, like Super Mario Brothers, I can't stand it. So recreations and emulators, perfectly okay.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I played that Pokemon games, dude, and because I wasn't invested, you know, I sped through the loading screens, the battle screen,
yeah,
you know, and it just clicked through it super quick, and I threw the game away. It's different. It takes that time investment. Like I was like, dude, screw this. I'm not invested. So yeah, emulators don't capture that original feel. So that's what's crazy about Classic WoW. We're getting to play it as we did back then. Obviously, better internet. New
obviously better internet.
Ways to talk. Internet. Discord. Discord. We have that. What other new systems? Those didn't break the game.
Well, YouTube is going to be
Twitch,
a huge
YouTube.
thing. Yeah.
So we're YouTube and Twitch. Is that going to break the experience?
I don't think so.
It won't be as immersive.
I don't think so.
But get this, dude. The servers. Some servers that people play on it will be a completely different experience.
Yeah.
Whether it's better or not, you know, you may not even be able to say one's better than the other. But yes, you know, once we get into this Twitch territory, these influence territory,
I mean, I think it's most certainly going to change the meta.
It goes better or worse, right? I mean, it's going to be a completely different game. I don't think it's enough to break it, but yeah, dude, it's something to think about.
It's just how we see it on private servers. Like now that YouTube is a thing, everybody has access to like infinite knowledge of this game, and they can make their own deductive reasoning based on what they've seen.
Right.
Whereas back then it was like, well, my friend told me that this one's good and told me that this is how it works, but this is how I'm going to try it. But now there's like definitive evidence.
Sure, absolutely. I'm talking a couple servers that have a couple massive Twitch streamers. Those people's experience in World PvP in Battleground,
yeah, it'll be different for sure.
World first to raids. You know what I mean? You start to break the game. You start to break the essence of that. Of the immersion. I don't know. Like I said, it may not be for better or worse, who knows? But it's definitely going to be a little bit different.
Yeah.
It's interesting point.
Dead of Night says Game of the Year awards last year was dominated by retro-styled indie games like Dead Cells. I think it's a sign that they were tired of the AAA games. I've been tired of AAA games for freaking years.
Dude.
That's why I play Rust.
That's why I'm sick and tired of the AAA games when they started coming out with the title for AAA game.
Yeah.
Halo clones and like all the huge like different shooters that are coming out in 2009, 2010. People starting to play all these different fighting games, and then there's all these other transactions and playing online and huge different types of
and
like
freaking every iteration. Call of Duty Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4, Call of Duty Butt Lover 69. There's just a million freaking different ones now. I'm sick of it. Like, I just want one good game that just occupies my time and like nothing else. Like, I just want World of Warcraft Classic because I know that when I log in, when I make that initial character and I start leveling him, it's all downhill from there. Everything I do is just one little step closer to being the best. And that's what I want. Ugh, but that's too much to ask for from all these big companies nowadays. They want to make everybody special snowflakes.
AAA means I have CJ here saying AAA equals microtransactions guaranteed.
Yeah. I mean, technically Blizzard is a AAA company, but they don't. I mean, AAA game would probably be like Overwatch or something that they made nowadays. I guess you could consider World of Warcraft BFA AAA, but it's kind of different because it's in its own little world.
You know, I'm just left here wondering what's next, man. What's next?
After Classic, or
we're anticipating Classic, and that's all we see right now. But I just what happens 20 years down the road?
Virtual reality, man. That's got to be the only way to go.
Virtual reality World of Warcraft.
Dude, they had it like set up at one point. Like I saw a video. I saw a dude that was doing it with a Xbox Kinect and a virtual reality headset, and he would just make like gestures to do different abilities and everything. So that was
kidding me, really?
No, that was real. Like it was a step in the right direction, but the problem with World of Warcraft virtual reality is that there are so many abilities. Like, how many things can you really do?
Yeah.
I mean, there's obviously the body has infinite amount of ways it can move and infinite planes, but like if you've got like an ability like bound to doing this motion, then you've got another ability bound to doing this motion. The software has to be perfect to detect the difference between these two.
Right. Okay. Split here. Check this out, guys. Cut the amount of abilities that you can use in half. Is Vanilla WoW still the same game? Is it still good by its original core design? It's already simple as it is.
You say it's simple. Look at my toolbars once the game launches and tell me if it still looks simple.
For sure. But say we cut them in half. Does Vanilla WoW still hold up? I don't know.
Think so.
This goes to that discussion of different iterations of Vanilla WoW. If you're playing the level 10 meta, if you're playing Twinks, you only have 4 abilities that you use, right? You know, there's your VR world. It's a different different version of classic World of Warcraft. But I think the game holds up. I think that we could see a VR world where, you can't do all the world PvP things, throwing grenades. I don't know what the macro is going to be. I get what you're saying. But you get what I'm saying. I think like, Vanilla WoW.
There's literally like 20 keybinds alone that go just to freaking trinkets and gadgets.
Right. So it fascinates me. It fascinates me to think that this game can hold up. It can be played a million different ways. I think it's that good. I really do. I don't know. it blows my mind thinking.
Yeah.
I'm watching Swifty play VR right now.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah. I think that I saw.
Yeah, I'm gonna link this real quick. This is kind of nuts. It's okay, but it's not anything.
Yeah,
super...
let's pull it up for
Yeah, I'm linking it in the chats real quick if you guys want to grab.
Where at?
It's playing on the HTC Vive. There you go. I'll put it in the group chat here too.
Let me get an 80s with sense, dude.
I was watching somebody else who was like they were on a VR like chat room area where you had like live, but it was actually like Dalaran was the only zone they could load up.
This is very strange.
Yeah. I mean, it looks pretty cool.
Well, the thing is, though, like, all right, so now I'm looking at him, and he's in third person. He's not in first person. That kind of defeats
he
the
does
whole...
jump around. He does jump around, but as you go further into it, when he's doing PvP, he's in third, and when he's in first person, like, I could quest in first person in VR.
Yeah.
Like, his head motions actually, like, control where his character looks. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. It would definitely take some getting used to. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it just seems so improbable. He's still using his keyboard to control, though.
It would be. It would be
it's
a
not.
slow
It's
pace.
not full. It's not full body VR.
Yeah.
This is only like visual.
Right. Yeah, the pace of the game would slow down if vanilla wasn't already slow enough for you. I think VR would slow it down a little bit more.
I love VR games though, dude. Like I've played a few VR games.
I haven't, dude. I haven't thrown on that headset.
They're
yet.
fun, man. First-person shooter VR games are really fun.
I'm waiting to pop that cherry, man. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Dude, do it.
It's just gonna blow my mind.
Yeah. I want them to be. I think first-person shooters are the future for VR gaming, because like, how many buttons do you need for first-person shooters? You need a trigger. All right, you've got a VR gun. You need to aim. You've got your eyes. You've got, and then say you need like a secondary shot. Like think about Overwatch, dude. Overwatch has like 5 buttons at max for a character. You can put those all on a freaking gun, and you're good. So, as long as they got some like treadmill type thing to do on it,
we're gonna be raising sociopaths, man.
Are you kidding me? If they had a treadmill for VR,
dude,
run around on like an Omni tread, like
people like think about what that's gonna do to your brain, dude. You're gonna traumatize kids getting chased down.
Good.
Gonna play a horror game. Playing a horror game in VR.
No,
dude, I would play the ever living shit out of horror games in VR.
Like, can you imagine?
It would ruin me.
Like, what is the game? I played it. It's the Insane Asylum. You have the dudes around naked.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Contagious?
Oh my gosh.
I think it's Contagious or Contagion.
No, not Contagion. Not Contagion. It's there's 2 games. Outlast.
That's it. Yeah.
Playing Outlast in VR,
dude.
No.
So many people are gonna die, dude, to heart attacks. Like it's gonna be.
I mean, but like, all you gotta do is like not be, stupid about it. Like it says, hey, if you're like prone to like, if you have like these health risks, don't play this. But people aren't gonna listen; they're gonna die. Just like Senor Chinese man who died in a freaking LAN cafe playing World of Warcraft.
Right.
Shake your head to be a face roll hunter.
Yeah,
all your hunter abilities, like you're sitting there at the front of your keyboard.
But anyway, we're getting close to the ending time, guys.
Yes, sir, Bob.
Anybody got anything big planned coming up?
Videos I'm working on. I got nothing that's gonna come out relatively soon.
Yeah, I coming out maybe within possibly the next 6 hours or by tomorrow. I'm gonna have a top 5 gray items in vanilla WoW list. It's gonna be pretty creative.
Nice.
It's different, and it's gonna be a cool little series because there's so many gray items, guys. There's like 400 total gray items in vanilla WoW.
Jesus.
So I went through them, and there's a couple that stuck out to me, and I remember. It's cool. So I got this video cooking. Go subscribe to me on YouTube. It's gonna be dropping within the next 24 hours. It's pretty sweet. That's what I'm doing as well.
Nice. I've got either tonight or tomorrow or sometime in the next couple days. I'm gonna have the pre-PvP enhancement shaman best in slot guide. That's gonna be coming out, and then I'm going to do some kind of food challenge for hitting 1,000 subscribers.
Hey.
I don't know what I'm gonna do
There you
yet,
go, buddy.
So if y'all got any ideas, I think I can I don't know if I need to wait or something, but I think I can start posting statuses on YouTube now that I have 1,000. So I got to do that. Once I do that, then
tab.
it'll
show up in a week or so for you.
Yeah.
It takes a week.
No, it takes less time than that for Classic WoW Live.
No, the
on
community
YouTube.
tab, Atticus. It takes like a week.
Yeah. That's lame. Anyway,
it'll show up soon though.
I'm gonna put a poll up in Discords and everywhere. So if you're in any of the Discords, find that and then just vote because I want to see like what I should do to eat a bunch of food and try not to die or try to die. Who knows? But
God, no. Please, no.
Yeah, dude. I'm thinking like 100 wings. Like, let's try to do that.
Hey,
Go get some spicy wings. You're down
drink
south.
a gallon of milk.
Ooh, a gallon of milk in an hour. I guarantee you I can do that. People say it's impossible, but I think I can do it.
Dude, for our club at school, like we have this thing with. Don't ask me. I'm not gonna go into details, but it's tradition, and I probably shouldn't say this, but like we chug a gallon of milk every year after the new pledges come in.
Yeah.
And I'm the returning champ for the last 2 years.
Oh God.
I mean, you don't have to hold it down.
I'm glad you're good at chugging.
All right.
Just knows how to relax the throat and let it go down the
That's where
hole.
we were going.
On that
I
note,
had to.
on that night, we're gonna say goodnight, Azeroth. So everybody, come back, see us next week, Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time,
I'm just playing.
and subscribe to everybody, etc., etc.
Thanks for chilling with the boys.
Thank you guys
It was
for chilling
cool.
with us.
Yeah, everybody that commented was one of our better podcasts. It was a lot of fun, especially because you guys were interactive. It's good.
Thanks for coming, guys.
Thank you guys. And for those on Twitch, I'm going to go drop you guys over on Def Camp in a second. So let's go ahead and sign off like we normally do, boys.
Oh, God.
Good night, Azeroth.
Fucking creeper.